Your brain is hardwired to want whatever it's told it can't have. And there's a science to how powerful that impulse is and how it's used against you every day. In 1966, psychologist Jack Brehm published a theory that explains why banned books sell more than unbanned ones, why restricted products seem more desirable, why reverse psychology works, and why the most effective thing a parent can sometimes do is tell a teenager they can't do something. You don't need to have read the theory to have lived it. You felt the specific pull of wanting something more the moment you were told you couldn't have it. That's not childishness. That's your brain protecting its sense of freedom, and it does it automatically, forcefully, and often against your own interests. Psychological reactance is a motivational state that arises when a person perceives that their freedom to choose or behave is being threatened or eliminated. When that threat occurs, the brain responds by increasing the attractiveness of the restricted option and generating a drive to restore the lost freedom. Jack Brehm's reactance theory, 1966, proposed that people place high value on their freedom of choice. When that freedom is threatened through rules, prohibitions, pressure, or persuasion, they experience an aversive motivational state reactance and take action to restore the freedom, often by doing exactly what they were told not to do. The theory explains a counterintuitive set of phenomena: why warnings can sometimes increase dangerous behavior, why hard sells reduce purchase likelihood, and why telling someone they must believe something makes them less likely to believe it. In a study by Brehm and colleagues, researchers sent identical letters to residents of a neighborhood, one of which included the phrase, "The new regulation must be obeyed," adding a controlling, restricting element. Residents who received the authoritarian framing reported significantly less intention to comply than those who received a simple factual request. In another classic example, Wurtschel, Lee, and Edwoll's 1975 cookie study found that cookies in a nearly empty jar were rated as more desirable than identical cookies in a full jar, purely because scarcity implied restricted access. Perhaps the most striking application is in the arts. When books are banned, their sales and cultural status typically increase. When music is labeled with warning stickers, teenage interest tends to rise. When social media platforms restrict content, the restricted content circulates more widely through workarounds. The act of restriction is a form of promotion. Marketers and salespeople understand reactance intimately, even if they don't use the academic term. Limited time offer. Only 3 left in stock. Exclusive access. This deal won't last. All of these create an implied restriction. Your access to this opportunity is about to close, which triggers the reactance mechanism. The desire for the product increases not because the product got better, but because the freedom to choose it appears to be disappearing. The high-pressure close-in sales, "I can only offer this price today," works through the same pathway. It's not about the value of the product. It's about triggering the brain's freedom protection response. In personal relationships, reactance explains why ultimatums so often backfire. If you tell someone, "You have to do this or else," you've threatened their freedom. The emotional response is likely to be resistance, not compliance. The person who might have agreed to a genuine conversation instead becomes invested in their resistance as a freedom restoration act. Reactance can be used ethically when the goal is genuinely to help someone access something they already want. The technique: instead of pushing, create mild restriction. Instead of "you should definitely try this," try "this probably isn't for everyone, but..." The implied exclusivity can trigger the brain's freedom-seeking response in a direction that serves the person. In parenting, providing choices rather than directives reduces reactance, because having a choice preserves the sense of freedom. Would you rather do homework before or after dinner? Removes the restriction that would generate the rebel response. To protect yourself, when you notice sudden desire triggered by restriction, a sale ending, a product becoming limited, someone telling you can't, pause. Ask, "Did I want this before the restriction was mentioned?" If no, the desire you're feeling is reactance, not genuine preference. Make the decision based on the original evaluation, not the urgency created by the implied loss of freedom. Your brain cares deeply about its freedom. That's not a weakness. In an environment where autonomy matters, it's adaptive. The problem is that this care can be triggered artificially by anyone who knows how to frame a restriction. The moment you feel that specific pull, I want it more now that I've been told I can't have it, that's your cue to pause and check who manufactured the fence. Drop a comment. What's the most obvious reactance trigger you've noticed being used on you? Sales, relationships, anywhere. And subscribe. New psychology breakdown every week.